Axl Rose, one of rock's most enigmatic and controversial figures. His voice defined an era, but his unpredictable personality and fiery temper made him just as famous for his antics as for his music. How did a small-town boy from Indiana become the notorious frontman of Guns N' Roses, navigating a career filled with record-breaking success and unrelenting chaos? From humble beginnings in Lafayette, Indiana, to becoming one of the most polarizing figures in music history, Axl Rose's story is one of unparalleled talent, conflict, and reinvention. Loved by millions, yet criticized by many, his life has been a roller coaster of triumphs, controversies, and personal battles. Today, we're diving deep into the rise, fall, and resurgence of Axl Rose, a journey marked by legendary music, bitter rivalries, and a determination to do things his way, no matter the cost. This is the story of one of rock's most iconic frontmen. Before the fame, the fortune, and the chaos, Axl Rose was just a boy, named William Bruce Rose Jr., growing up in Lafayette, Indiana, a small-town kid with big dreams and even bigger struggles. Born in 1962, Axl's early years were marked by instability and hardship. His biological father left when he was just 2 years old, and his mother remarried a man who, according to Axl, subjected him to physical and emotional abuse. This dark period in his life left deep scars, shaping the anger and rebellion that would later define him as an artist. Music became Axl's refuge. Singing in church and later exploring rock music offered him an outlet for his frustrations and a way to channel his emotions. It wasn't long before he realized that music could be his escape from the life he desperately wanted to leave behind. As a teenager, Axl often clashed with authority. He was arrested multiple times for minor offenses and struggled to find his footing in a world that seemed stacked against him. These rebellious years set the stage for the fiery, unpredictable personality that would later captivate fans and spark countless controversies. With his sights set on a better future, Axl left Lafayette and headed to Los Angeles, a city where dreams are made and broken. It was there, amidst the chaos of the Sunset Strip, that Axl's destiny began to take shape. When Axl Rose arrived in Los Angeles, he was a struggling musician with a fiery ambition. Little did the world know, he was about to become the face of one of the most iconic rock bands in history, Guns N' Roses. Axl reunited with his childhood friend Izzy Stradlin, and together they began recruiting members who would eventually form Guns N' Roses. With Slash, Duff McKagan, and Steven Adler on board, the band quickly made a name for themselves in the gritty clubs of the Sunset Strip, blending raw energy, rebellious attitudes, and unparalleled talent. In 1987, Guns N' Roses released their debut album Appetite for Destruction, a record that would change the landscape of rock music. With hits like Sweet Child O' Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, and Paradise City, the album skyrocketed to the top of the charts, eventually becoming the best-selling debut album of all time. Axl's distinct voice and magnetic stage presence captivated audiences worldwide, making him the ultimate rock frontman. While their music earned them a devoted fan base, their wild behavior offstage earned them a notorious reputation. Guns N' Roses became synonymous with excess. Booze, drugs, and brawls were as much a part of their identity as their music. But as their fame grew, so did the tensions within the band. Beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to form, and the chaos that fueled their rise would soon threaten to tear them apart. While Axl Rose's charisma and talent made him a superstar, his unpredictable behavior and fiery temper often led to chaos, both on and off the stage. Tensions within Guns N' Roses began to rise as the band reached new heights. Axl's perfectionism and controlling nature clashed with the more laid-back attitudes of his bandmates, particularly Slash. These conflicts created a volatile environment that threatened the band's stability. One of the most infamous moments in Guns N' Roses history occurred in 1991 at the Riverport Amphitheater in St. Louis. During the show, Axl spotted a fan in the crowd with a camera and demanded security confiscate the camera. When they failed to act, Axl took matters into his own hands. He leapt off the stage and lunged at the fan in an attempt to seize the camera. After the altercation, Axl stormed off stage, cutting the performance short and leaving the venue in frustration.
Well, thanks to the lame-ass security, I'm going home. We're out of here.
His abrupt exit sparked chaos, igniting a riot that left dozens injured and caused significant property damage. The incident further cemented Axl's reputation as a volatile and unpredictable rock star who refused to compromise, no matter the consequences. In May 1988, during a concert in Quebec City where Guns N' Roses opened for Iron Maiden, Axl sparked outrage by insulting the audience for speaking French. This was particularly controversial, as French is not only Quebec's official language, but also the primary language spoken by an overwhelming 84% of Quebec City's residents. His remarks alienated fans and drew sharp criticism, with many questioning how a global rock star could be so dismissive of cultural norms. Even Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden's frontman, later expressed regret that he didn't confront Axl directly on stage. The incident left a stain on the band's image in the area. As Guns N' Roses reached the peak of their fame, tensions with other bands added fuel to the fire. Axl's feud with Nirvana's Kurt Cobain made headlines, stemming from Cobain's refusal to tour with Guns N' Roses. Similarly, clashes with Metallica during their co-headlining tour led to public spats, cancellations, and some memorable reflections from Metallica's members.
We can relate to Axl and his attitude, So we learned quite a bit on what not to do.
These high-profile disputes only heightened Axl's image as a polarizing figure in the music world. By the early 1990s, the fractures within Guns N' Roses were becoming impossible to ignore. Axl's demands, including taking control of the band's name, alienated his bandmates. These tensions would soon lead to one of the most dramatic breakups in rock history. As Guns N' Roses began to unravel, their next album would only deepen the divide, sparking even more controversy and internal conflict. By the early 1990s, Guns N' Roses was not just a band, it was a global phenomenon. But with their meteoric rise came an equally dramatic descent, fueled by controversies, creative differences, and questionable decisions. In 1993, Guns N' Roses released The Spaghetti Incident, a collection of punk rock covers. While it showcased the band's raw energy, the album sparked outrage over its inclusion of a song originally written by convicted murderer Charles Manson. The decision to feature the track was highly controversial and deepened the rift between Axl and his bandmates, many of whom were reportedly against its inclusion. For fans, it marked a turning point in the band's image, a shift from rebellious to reckless. In 1995, Axl Rose took a surprising legal step by withdrawing from the original partnership of Guns N' Roses. This move wasn't a resignation, it was a calculated strategy to secure full control over the band's name and brand. According to Slash's autobiography, Axl exploited a legal loophole to ensure he could steer the band's future. Slash later expressed his surprise and frustration, stating that he felt blindsided by the decision. With this control, Axl held the power to decide the band's direction, including the terms of any reunions and even the division of profits.
It was not continuing on with the new band that Axl put together that he was now at the helm of, which was the new Guns N' Roses, and I was, given a contract to basically join his new band.
While it gave Axl unparalleled authority, it also further alienated his bandmates. As tensions within the band escalated, Axl and Slash, once the iconic duo of Guns N' Roses, found themselves on opposite sides of a legal battle. The growing divide between them culminated in Slash's departure in 1996, marking the end of an era for Guns N' Roses. During this tumultuous period, Axl largely retreated from the public eye. When he did resurface in 2016, photos showing a noticeably heavier Axl quickly became tabloid fodder, and a target for internet memes, mocking captions like "knock knock, knocking on McDonald's door" and "sweet pie oh mine" spread rapidly across forums and social media platforms, amplifying the ridicule. In response, Axl aggressively pursued legal action against outlets and websites that published the images without his consent. However, his attempts to erase the photos from the internet backfired spectacularly, drawing even more attention to the controversy. Instead of silencing the critics, his actions fueled the fire, making the memes and public scrutiny even more widespread. This incident not only underscored Axl's sensitivity to public perception, but also highlighted his ongoing struggle to navigate fame in the digital age, a challenge that even the most iconic rock stars were not immune to. By the mid-1990s, Guns N' Roses was no longer the band fans once knew. With key members gone and Axl increasingly withdrawn, many wondered if the Prince of Chaos would ever return to reclaim his throne in rock history. After the tumultuous 1990s, Axl Rose vanished from the public eye, leaving fans speculating about his whereabouts and the future of Guns N' Roses. Following the departure of Slash, Duff McKagan, and other core members, Axl retreated into seclusion, battling the pressure of living up to his legacy. Work on Guns N' Roses' next album, Chinese Democracy, began in the mid-1990s and turned into a decade-long odyssey. Delays, lineup changes, and skyrocketing production costs made it one of the most expensive albums ever made. Released in 2008, the album received mixed reviews, but showcased Axl's determination and creativity with tracks like Better and There Was a Time, reminding fans of his talent. Though Chinese Democracy became a running joke due to its prolonged wait, its release marked a new chapter for Axl. Yet the question remained, would he ever reconcile with his past and reunite with the band that made him a legend? After years of silence, Axl Rose did the unthinkable. He reunited with the classic lineup of Guns N' Roses. In 2016, the Not in This Lifetime tour brought Axl, Slash, and Duff McKagan back together for the first time in over 2 decades. The reunion became one of the highest-grossing tours in history, drawing fans from around the globe. Axl surprised many by showing a more composed and professional side, with impressive vocal performances that silenced skeptics. During this time, he also took on unexpected roles, like filling in as lead singer for AC/DC on their Rock or Bust tour, proving his versatility and resilience. The reunion revitalized Guns N' Roses and reminded the world of their lasting legacy, solidifying Axl's place as one of rock's most enduring icons. Axl Rose's journey is a testament to resilience and the rebellious spirit of rock and roll. From his turbulent beginnings to his triumphant return, Axl's story is one of extremes, unparalleled success, devastating lows, and a drive that refused to be broken. With over 100 million records sold, Guns N' Roses has left an indelible mark on rock history. Albums like Appetite for Destruction and Use Your Illusion I & II are cornerstones of the genre, inspiring generations of musicians and fans. Axl's powerful voice, unmatched stage presence, and infamous controversies cement his place as one of rock's most iconic frontmen. More than just a musician, Axl Rose is a cultural phenomenon. Whether captivating audiences with Guns N' Roses or stepping in as the frontman of AC/DC, his passion for music has never wavered. Despite the chaos, Axl remains a symbol of rebellion and the enduring power of rock and roll. Through highs and lows, Axl Rose has carved a legacy that will endure as long as rock music exists. What's your favorite Axl Rose moment or Guns N' Roses story? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the legends of rock.